Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for April 16th, 17th, and 18th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is a general reading, and you know what that means. I'm going to be using, yes, my two Radley Valentine decks. This time I use my Angel Tarot cards for the main message. I'll pull one from my Archangel Power Tarot cards. I will also pull one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Now, I have prayed, meditated, and infused all the decks with Reiki energy, but remember, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you. Take what you like, leave the rest, okay? Okay, I'm an intuitive channeler. I open myself to higher power. My job, just deliver the message. And it always works better when I don't understand what I'm talking about. So here we go. Now, remember that we are finishing up Aries season. So happy birthday for the last time to Aries. Now we will be coming to Taurus season. That'll be on the 19th. So happy birthday to the Tauruses. Couple of things. People have asked me recently about tarot decks. Now, one of the things you'll know is I have posted my longer readings, and I posted those yesterday. And I use a bunch of decks. These are decks that have resonated to me in one point of my life or another, but the ones that I really connect closely with are the ones that I use on more of the general readings, the general energies, okay? So they seem to really connect. Now, I will sometimes pull in my Rider-Waite tarot deck too. I always had a harder time connecting with those. But in the last year or so, that connection actually, because I started to study a little more about them and I understood them. Now, granted, I've been reading these, so you would think it would be a very easy transition. Well, it wasn't. It really wasn't. The thing I like about that deck, is that it just kind of gives me answers like that. Okay, it's like this, whereas these decks, the ones I use, gives me a little bit more depth. It gives me a little bit more understanding. Now, one of the questions I was recently asked was, should your first tarot deck be gifted? Well, that's very nice, and if that's a possibility, that's very nice. Now, is that a hard and fast rule? No, it is not. Because if you see a deck in your hands and you're something about you just kind of itching to get a hold of them, you go ahead. It's okay for you to buy that deck. It's okay for you to, obtain that deck. Now, I would be careful about, the only thing I'm careful about, well, not only thing, but the one thing I'd be careful about is the age of the deck, and I would make sure, and who is gifting me the deck. Now, there are things where objects can grab onto other people's energies. And so you really want to make sure that you do something to clean the deck, that you want to make sure that you do something to make the connection with you stronger than any other connection. Now, there's lots of different ways, and maybe I'll do a video on that more so. I have a lot more decks, and as you know, sometimes I pulled in my Radley Valentine Guardian Angels, very sweet deck. That's on the longer readings, but very wordy. I've got other decks too, like I said, that at some point I resonated with. So, do you need to be gifted with a deck? No, you really don't, because you want to have the deck really be something that calls to you. Now, this is my opinion. You can have somebody else, and I respect and will listen to other people's opinions on this. But if you have something that really calls to you, go ahead and do this. There is, like I said, there are things to do to help cleanse the deck and how to kind of attach it to you. Okay? Now, I've also had people say, well, maybe this is not right, this is evil, this isn't the way it should be. Well, the thing about that, I'm going to say, is higher power, the supernatural beings, is, much greater with their energy than images on paper. Okay? So if this is something you're called for, except, like I said, I always pray, meditate, and infuse the decks with Reiki energy. I am a Reiki master. But when I pray, I also, I ask higher power. But also when I start my readings, I'm going on more than I wanted to, but I'm sorry. I start my readings actually inviting the archangels to come. I ask Archangel Gabriel to join. And, with archangels, we have all this, well, they're female, masculine type of energy. So is it Lord, Lady? I don't know. But I ask Archangel Gabriel to come and provide the words and to let the message be something that resonates. I ask Archangel Uriel to come, and I ask that, because Uriel brings a lot of wisdom and higher wisdom. And it's sometimes when I say something, I go, wow, I surprised myself. I ask Archangel Raphael to join, to bring healing and to bring what is needed to soothe and, support, encourage our souls, our spirits. And that's even another video. And I ask Archangel Michael to come. Part of the thing I ask Michael about is, hey, Michael, help me to do what I'm doing. So, but it's also to bring forth a bold word and for me not to second guess myself. Whatever needs to come out needs to come out. Okay, I've said too much. Please take a look at the longer readings. I did post them. I will post an overview for Taurus season. I feel Taurus season. I actually feel that there's kind of some, I know Taurus is earth energy, so you would think that we would be more down to earth. I feel like, Taurus is going to break through, and it's just it's going to, that bull energy wants to push through a lot of barriers for us. Anyway, now let's go on with our readings. Hello, my Geminis. How are you? Well, it is time for the weekend. Oh, and the cards are kind of jumping a little bit for you. They're feeling very energetic. My Geminis. Whoa. Oh, okay, card fallen. Did not fall on the floor, so I like it when it doesn't do that. Here we go. It is reversed. Remember, reversed cards have a little stronger energy. Here we go. Are you expecting company this week? I don't really, I feel like there's going to be a really strong, I don't know, these could be children or younger people around you, and they're going to need your nurturing. They're going to need a little bit of your guidance. The thing is, they have a lot of sensitivities to the higher powers, to higher power, and, I would say they have somebody's out there, they have a lot of psychic ability. And it's very confusing to them. It's very confusing, and I think that you'll be able to help smooth them a little bit, okay? Not necessarily make everything right, but I kind of feel like their energies are just like all over the place, and you help to smooth them. Like when I'm doing Reiki, and after I do it, I help, I try to smooth the energies down so that they're not just like leaving you. So I don't know who that was, but the children, you need to be gentle and care, you need to be patient with them because, like I said, they're going through a confusing time. Okay, and I think you're the one that's probably going to help them the most. Anyway, let's see what we have here for my Geminis. Whoa, that was big. Here, the Emperor. Now, fours have that stability. It also has that organization. This is Archangel Michael. I go there because that's where when I tell you I bring, the angels, that's where he is, or where I believe him to be. Anyway, Michael is the warrior, the protector. He is the defender also. The Emperor has a lot of strength here, a lot of strength of purpose, a lot of self-discipline. Now, the Emperor is not unkind, so this kind of goes along with what I was just saying, but the Emperor does see things this is the way things need to be. It's not so much that he sees things as black and white, but he does know the difference between right and wrong. And, some people say, well, there's, two sides of every story and the truth somewhere in between. Yes, that has merit, but there is a right and a wrong. And it's our perspective that we color what is right and wrong. So the Emperor has this, and again, it's not rigidity. there are things that are right, there are things that are wrong. And it's there, I don't know why we're going this way, but this is where the emperor stands. And there is also there is this, understanding, there is this compassion with the emperor, but there is this what is right, what is wrong. Okay? I know people don't like to talk about that, but there is. So there's this universal energy. So this is kind of what's around you right now for this weekend. But again, it is, we don't, we don't know necessarily what to do with this. Archangel Michael will help you. Okay? Okay. But Archangel Michael is about organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. Here we go. Our next card is the Eight of Air. Now, air is your energy. It is also Libra and Aquarius. It's thought processes. It is making plans. It is hearing news. Now, eights have unlimited possibilities, but the only thing that limits us is our own mind. Now, yes, I know. It's like, well, there's other things that limit us too, like money and, freedoms, things like that. Yes, I do know that. I do understand that. But there are things that are so possible out there that we need to there's an expansion of thinking here. Wow, my Geminis, you're going down a big pathway for you. Not something you can't handle. It's just something that, and again, Taurus season's about this big pathway, this big metaphysical shift. And this is you I feel like my head, it doesn't hurt. It just feels like it wants to get bigger. Okay. So I feel like there is a better understanding, more logic, and yet at the same time, it's knowing a little bit more than we knew before. Okay. Now, the Eight of Air does have a feeling trapped, feeling like, so when we know a little bit more, and then we're always kind of like, well, I'd like to know more and more and more. We are limited beings, so we are in many ways trapped, but there's also a sense, this is also about being an illusion, about being trapped. So not quite sure where we're going, but that's not my job. I don't have to necessarily understand it. So I just have to give it. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. And your last card here, the Five of Air. So again, I'm saying so a lot for you now. Air, again, the same energies. Five has some changes. So there could be a major shift in how you perceive things. This weekend could bring, again, I told you, Taurus has this major shift energy. There could be this looking at things differently now, looking at things from a different moral compass, a different perspective, looking at things from a higher perspective. So and it doesn't always feel comfortable for you. It doesn't feel comfortable for anybody. It's when there's truths, there's things that we've believed that might be stretched, and it's kind of like, oh my goodness. So there's going to be something going on for my Geminis that it's not necessarily going to be a comfortable weekend, but, at least mentally, spiritually, but it is a growing weekend. It is something that's going to help you. It's kind of like the bridge into Taurus season, okay? Okay, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation. Review everyone's motives. And that's where you become a little contemplative. That's where you kind of look and say, why? 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 That review everyone's motives, it brings out a big why to me. W-H-Y. It's like, why? Okay? And then it'll be kind of those times it's like, why can't they see things like I see it? But again, that child, maybe that child is actually you. Maybe it's not even that a child comes into your sphere. Maybe that's a child that is actually you, and you have to help it to handle this. So this feels big to me, my Geminis. You're going to have to let me know what this is all about and who this is actually for. I do feel it's not just for one person. I feel that this has a big effect on all the Geminis to some extent, okay? So let's see what we have here. The Four of Gabriel. So we have that four energy again. Gabriel is our fire energy. It is our Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, passionate, burning, and determined. We are still in Aries situation. Aries season. So we still have that fire energy there. This actually has kind of a sense of, well, this is all about celebration. This is all about, rewards for hard work. There's a lot of consolidation energy with this too. So even though this may be kind of uncomfortable, it kind of comes, again, it's like light bulb. It's like epiphany. It's like that energy that all of a sudden things make sense. And now there's a sense of purpose also that comes with this. Okay. Now, this is a time for celebration. I like that. Abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. Many times over, I kind of feel like this is that, metamorphosis. This is that caterpillar that, goes in, creates the cocoon, and then comes out that butterfly. And I feel like the bird, it's like shedding that cocoon and taking flight. Okay, so there was a lot of readings, the long readings, that did have a very strong metaphysical air to it. I can't remember if yours did or not, my Geminis, but this is definitely the bridge into that. Okay, so let's see what crystal or energy we have for my Gemini, and let's see if Debbie has it or can recognize that she has it. Here we go. This is reversed. Black obsidian, I do have it, and I want to make sure, I think this is my black obsidian here. Here we go. I love black stones. They absorb such negative energy. Anyway, black obsidian is about strength, support during changes, which you probably would need this weekend, everyday stress relief, but it also clears negative energy. You might want to carry something like this around with you or put it at your bedside, kind of like a natural detox, okay? Okay. Anyway, my Geminis, interesting stuff happening for you. Just be prepared of the energies. If you feel a little off and you're feeling what the heck's happening, like I said, expansion of the mind, expansion of the spirit, expansion. Anyway, my Geminis, if you enjoy my readings, and I hope you do, I like doing them for you, please remember the button because it helps to promote, it helps to get the videos out, and then that encourages me to continue. So it's a win-win situation for all of us. Now, more importantly, my Geminis, this is the more important subject. Please know that you are loved, stay shining, and be blessed. Bye-bye.